It's Friday morning. Dad and I are loading the truck for market, and you can just see how white the ground is with frost. We had a little bit yesterday, but today is much worse. Luckily, it's not cloudy. The sun's gonna come out and burn it right off, but I hope it doesn't hurt the pickles too bad. I'm not so worried about the peppers, but pickles are gonna take it pretty hard, I think. I just got here to the farm market and got it set up with a bunch of different fruits and veggies. I'll do a little bit of a walk around and show you what everything looks like. The zinnia patch is now starting to go down. We had a pretty hard frost this morning, as you've seen. They are still kind of okay. The sun came out and dried stuff off quickly, which makes it a lot better instead of it just sitting on there for hours and hours. But regardless, next time I get the mower out, I'm probably gonna mow them off because nobody's gonna pick them no more, and they're really not that enjoyable to look at with only a couple flowers here and there being nice. One nice thing is that the flowers underneath the sign here are kind of protected by the sign from the frost, and so they usually stay nice a lot longer, which is a mixture of celosia, gazinias, and petunias. On the front porch, we need to restock with all of our pumpkins. The white bin is probably down to like 2/3. Sugars aren't bad. You know, this one could use a couple of big pumpkins. We could use a couple stackers. Again, could use a couple big ones in here. We need quite a few Hubbard. The gourds are down a little bit, and then both these bins are down a little bit. That way when people driving by can see our full supply and maybe they'll stop in. Mums are just about done. We don't grow our own mums. We get them brought in from a local grower. But now that we're going into the middle of October, we figured, you know what? No point in ordering more and trying to sell them cheap. We'll just sell out what we have and that'll be it. So we only have this color, which is like a pinkish, one tri-colored mum, and then about 8 or 9 big ones with the grasses. After you walk in the door, the first thing you're going to notice is the Delos fresh buns, and then on our tables we have potatoes, all sorts of hot peppers like cherry, cayenne, long hots. Then around the other side is bell pepper, green, red, orange, and yellow. Then we move into the sweet frying, Cuban, Italian, then red beets and pickles. Then turn it right around in circles. There's some sweet corn, kohlrabi, tomatoes, red and green, zucchini, eggplant, Lebanese squash, 10-pound bags of red and white potatoes, cucumbers, yams or sweet potatoes, cauliflower, and cabbage. Then again, swing right around in circles. And we're out of kale actually, but we have red and purple cauliflower, apples, and then on the other side is onions, red, white, and yellow, then garlic, oranges, bananas, lemons, and then last for the veggies is broccoli. Then come over to where we make the baked goods. Usually my mom or Jill, Cindy, one of the three are doing some kind of baking. That rack there is where everything goes when it comes out and it's hot. Then after it cools down, it gets packaged and put out for display. After the market's set up, first job we're going to get into is picking an order of pumpkins. We have 4 bins ordered of smaller, we call them basketball sized, even though they're a little bit bigger than that. And so we have me, Marcus, Eric, and Francisco all out here. Eric and I are putting them into bins. Francisco and Marcus are lining them up, putting them into piles as you see here. That way we can just go through fast and fill up the bin. So we just got the 4 bins of basketball-sized pumpkins. Some are obviously a little smaller. Most of them are just a little bit bigger. These are all for an order. And then we got 1 bin of sugar pumpkins just for the farm and to fill up the farm market. Sammy just got here. She is picking either orangitas or casperitas. And I'm gonna start down here with gourds. The guys have now left because it's 4 o'clock. And hopefully we're only gonna be here for like a half hour yet, and then we'll be out of here as well. These were always one of my favorites just because they're not all the same. There's lighter ones, there's darker ones, there's different shades, different colors. And so basically, you just clean everything and you get a good assortment. One thing I did really notice, and I don't know if you guys did just from the camera, is that with that frost we had last night, it knocked down all of the vines. These were all green, and now they're all like shriveled up and they look kind of wettish. And so now what that means is that the next time we get a frost, if it's a hard one, it's gonna hurt the pumpkins. It won't exactly kill them, but what it'll do is it'll stain them and it'll make like a wet look on them, which is not good because then it will make it rot faster than what it would have just naturally. And so luckily we only have like 2 more weeks until, you know, the pumpkin season is over, but that's 2 more weeks that we gotta pray we don't get frost, or at least not a hard frost, or we could be in trouble. We got the gourds done, came down here. Sammy's got her orangitas and casperitas done. And now we're both gonna come over here and work on acorn. I like to go through and just clip them and then go back through with the basket. Sammy, you wanna come back through behind me and pick them up? Huge. They always say the acorn's ready when it's got an orange belly like that, kind of like a watermelon with a yellow belly. So this is the final load. This is all gonna go back to the farm. 4 bins are going for the order. And like I said, the sugar pumpkin is just gonna be for us to sell at the farmer's market. And then we also picked 2 large bins of pumpkins just to go restock the farm market, which Sammy and I are heading out there right now. I'm letting Sammy pull the tractor up. This is like one of the first times I ever let her do it without needing to teach her first. She's pretty excited. Going about 1 mile an hour, but she'll get here. Today is Saturday. I just got down here to the potato field and I'm pretty positive I'm gonna finish digging all of our whites for the season. So I just got hooked up to the digger. You guys know how that works. I've explained it many of times. And so we have 3 half rows to dig today. This row right here, which is hard to distinguish just between the field and the actual row, but you can see how that's a little bit mounded, meaning that, you know, there is potatoes here, and you can see how the dead plant is left. And so I'm gonna dig these 2, which is Eva, a white potato, and then I'm gonna move up here to the middle of the field. Out there starts another row of Eva, and then I have 2 more rows I have to do, or half rows to do, which is Norwest, a yellow potato. Could not ask for a better morning. It's like 55 degrees, beautiful, sunny, not really a cloud in the sky. The past 2 days have been freezing cold. We've had frost, wearing 2 sweatshirts, gloves, a hat. I mean, almost like unseasonal for this time of the year. It's a little bit early for that. And so really cannot complain about the weather today. So I just finished up with the Eva, which is the white potato. I decided against doing the Norwis, which is only not even half a row yet to do. The conditions are just not right. They're okay. I mean, I shouldn't say they're not right. They're okay, but the guys are only working until 12 today, and I don't want to have a bunch of potatoes left in the field before they have to go. I want to get the potatoes that we have dug, picked up in bins and in the storage by 12. So we're gonna let them go. We'll do them another day, hopefully after we get some rain. I started back there in the bottom row, and they're just finishing up, and then they're gonna start in this row right up here. Actually, they're walking up here right now, and they're gonna do this, which starts here and goes to the end. I absolutely love Evas. I think next year we're gonna cut Norwises out altogether just because they're not near as nice as an Eva. It's a shame because we do have people who like yellow potatoes, but they just aren't near as nice, and we don't get as many out of them as we do the Evas. And so probably in about an hour or so, we'll come back down through here with the wagon and bins. We'll throw these in, and then they'll go in our storage for the winter. That one was chewed by a mouse. But you can just see here what is left after going through. Not many, meaning that there wasn't many bad ones, which is good. There's a little bit of a green one. Keep that out. So I went back up to the shed, picked up Sammy, got a hold of my dad. He got the tractor, we got bins on it. And now we're heading back down to the potato field, and we're gonna start picking everything up. Eric and Francisco are still working on picking baskets, but that's okay, we can get started binning. So we just got one row finished up, like 3/4 of a bin. Sammy's attempting to turn the tractor around to get back in the field. She's getting it. And now we have one row left to go. This was the row that they just picked up. I don't know how many baskets are out here, probably 20, 25 maybe, which it takes around 30 to 35 for a cardboard bin. And then anything that's not perfect that we see in the bin, we take out, and we'll take up for seconds and sell them for a cheaper price. Hold on a minute. Hold on, Sammy.
So now the potatoes are done. The guys are gonna leave at noon, which only leaves us 2 hours, so we decided to pick up some plastic. This is the early season, or the first patch of pickles, cucumbers, and zucchini. And so we had the guys start just picking it up, but with it being so dry, it's just kind of hard. And so I'm going through now with the plastic lifter and helping them out big time. This will make a world of difference. This is the same thing I use for the garlic, and the same thing I use for the onion. This isn't even our machine, this is our cousin's. And I can promise you next year we will have one after realizing how good it is. So this is one of the very few times that Sammy actually rides in the tractor with me. This tractor isn't really even supposed to hold two people, but it's got these armrests and they fold down. So I just folded it down, that way Sammy could sit here. That's what my dad used to do for me when I was younger. And we're still using the same tractor. They do make new tractors with a nice cushiony seat, but that's also like 150 grand, so. But maybe eventually, so we'll see. Sammy just kind of likes to just sit here and hang out, not that she's really doing much. If I have a problem or something, or if weeds get caught up behind me, then maybe she'll get out and help it along. But she doesn't really want to drive the tractor because it's just too much going on for her. Cantaloupe is definitely a little bit more of a struggle, but we're getting it. Where the vines are a little more dead after that frost, it digs better. Sammy's basically just walking behind and just stepping on the vine. Oh, actually it's getting clogged up a little worse now. But she was just kind of stepping on them like she is there and doing a really good job. Oh, she's getting it. So I've now transitioned from lifting plastic to mowing. I mowed a bunch of fields already. I mowed an old sweet corn field that got grown back up again. I mowed the old strawberry field, and I think one other thing I can't remember. And now I'm working on the last sweet corn field that we just finished up, which is this right here, obviously. And then now we have moved on to the lower side, so I'm obviously not gonna mow that. And that's full picking. We just started it, so we're gonna have this whole field now to pick off, which is good because that'll get us through the next week or so.